Hurling's through, he might go for it, still going, trying to barge his way through, goes to the flat, what a goal!
Arriving, Rian O'Neill from an almost impossible angle, and that's the rousing score Armagh we're looking for.
Conor Turbin kicks this one in, that's absolutely superb.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Sideline Eye podcast. We have another review show for you this week and we have a few interviews coming up from the Armagh game in Brewster Park on Sunday. We chat to Armagh goalkeeper Blane Hughes, who kept another clean sheet at the weekend. We also chat to Fermanagh manager Kieran Donnelly and Armagh boss Kieran McGeeney all after the game. But just before we hear from them, I'm just going to give you a quick roundup of all the action because there was so much last weekend. Just to start with, on Saturday, the Miners played and lost to Down on Saturday afternoon in the Box Athletic Grounds. Down won the game 2-9 to 1-8. 2 goals in either half for Down were the main scorers, and their manager is Benny Coulter, of course, who we know is a Down legend. But Armagh hit the net as well, and they got a goal in the second half themselves through fullback Gavin O'Rourke. Fortunately, it wasn't enough for Armagh, who themselves are managed by a county legend in Aidan O'Rourke, and they didn't get something from the game, but Gavin O'Rourke, he did finish as top scorer for the team with that second half goal, while Diarmuid O'Rourke and James McHugh hit 2 points apiece. There was a couple of scorers for Armagh. Keith Agnew, Finn O'Toole, Owen Duffy and Aaron Garvey all raised white flags throughout the game as well. The Miners are straight back into action next weekend and they'll take on Monaghan in round 2 of the Under-17 League, and that game is fixed for this Saturday in Castleblayney at 12 p.m. The Armagh Camogues, they also played on Saturday afternoon and unfortunately they suffered their first defeat of 2024 when Laois travelled to Greenmore on Saturday. Goals win games, of course, and that was the case in Greenmore as Laois hit the net 3 times to win by 9 points in the end, with the final score reading 3-12 to 0-12. Rachel Murray was the top scorer for Armagh and she hit 5 points on the day, while Sinead Quinn chipped in with 0-2. Leanne Donnelly, Niamh Falker, Rose Bowden, Ciara Gagan and Sinead McKinley all chipped in with scores as well. Armagh now sit second in the Division 3A league table following last week's opening round win over Roscommon, while Laois, they made it 2 from 2. They already defeated Kildare on the opening day, and that win over Armagh now sees them sit at the top of the table ahead of Armagh. So it's Kildare next for Armagh, and that's next Saturday in the 9th of March, and Armagh will once again enjoy home advantage for that one. The ladies continued their really impressive start to Division 1 and they overcame Kerry in the Box Athletic Grounds on Sunday. Armagh are more or less guaranteed a spot in the Division 1 league final as far as I can read, but I'm not sure if it's mathematically sorted yet, so they'll want to keep their winning momentum going over the next couple of weeks. A Caroline O'Hanlon goal got Armagh sort of up and running in this game, and it gave them a 5-point lead at half time. They were winning 1-7 to 0-5. Caroline O'Hanlon, of course, in her 23rd year playing for Armagh, so some seriously impressive stuff from her. Kerry, who are just behind Armagh in the league table, they're sitting second at the minute. They were unbeaten themselves coming into the weekend, and I suppose as expected they battled back really well in the second half, and things were all square by the time the game was entering the final quarter, and that's when Armagh really sort of pushed on and excelled. Of course, it was Amy Mackin who slotted home 2 second half goals, one from a penalty and one from play, and that handed Armagh the advantage late in the game. Mackin finished as the top scorer on the day. She hit 2-5 herself, and that brings her overall tally for the season to 5 goals and 15 points in 5 games. The ladies now have a week off before they take on Mayo in round 6, and that game is away to Mayo on St Patrick's Day, and then they face Dublin in the final round before hopefully a league final coming up on the 7th of April, but as I said, I don't think that's mathematically sorted yet. Armagh obviously travelled to Brewster Park on Sunday and come away with a 4-point win, seeing off Kieran Donnelly's men. This was a sort of dress rehearsal for the championship because both sides meet again in Brewster Park in the first round of the championship, but Armagh, it was another good win for them. It keeps their unbeaten run intact and means that they are still joint of the Division 2 league table, joint at the top with Donegal, both teams sitting on 9 points at this stage. There's a break now for Armagh. They don't have a game this weekend, but they take on Cavan next, and a win there would see them automatically promoted and book their spot in a league final. There's a few games on this weekend, and a team we haven't mentioned is the Armagh under-20s, who get their championship campaign underway this weekend away to Fermanagh in Brewster Park, and that's on Saturday with a 2 o'clock throw-in time. But we'll be covering all these games as usual with previews, match reports and podcasts hopefully later on in the week as well. So that's the roundup of everything that happened last weekend. We'll now hear from Armagh goalkeeper Blane Hughes, as I mentioned, another clean sheet for Blaine and 2 points to go along with that clean sheet. We also chatted to Fermanagh boss Kieran Donnelly and Armagh manager Kieran McGeeney after the game, so we'll hear those interviews now. Blaine, another win, still unbeaten, a good victory here in Fermanagh.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was a tough test now coming down to Brewster Park there today. Put us there right to the edge to the last 10 minutes or so, and then we got lucky enough there. We pulled away with a few scores there, just pulled us through for a victory.
And how was preparations? Because as we know, the game should have been Saturday evening, and then it's a Sunday. It probably mucked up your preparations a wee bit, did it?
Yeah, preparations there. Yeah, we didn't know where we were coming and going there come Friday there, but once we knew, all we had to do there was try to stay focused in, and just once we got the game to go ahead there on the Sunday, and that's when we went down, just goes knuckle down, and we got the confirmation there last night, so we were heads tuned in from there then.
And I suppose you're coming here in a couple of weeks' time for the championship as well, so this was sort of a dress rehearsal for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, Fermanagh were a tough team there today, and you can see they're very well organised. And yeah, once we come down here now in a couple of weeks, it'll be a tough test now. It's the first round of the championship. And
we've been speaking and writing a couple of weeks now, Blaine, about your clean sheet, but you got on the score sheet at the other end today, a couple of points too.
Yeah, I don't know. I missed 2 there as well, so I'll probably be sick looking at them tomorrow morning in the video. But yeah, it was good to get on the score sheet there. But as long as we got the win, that was the main thing.
And a week off now, and then it's Cavan and Cork, and hopefully a league final too into that. So a couple of big weekends heading into the championship.
Oh, absolutely, yes. Well, now we have to make sure we get at least one win out of 2 here to hopefully get promoted there. So big eye on now Cavan now when we play them next year, and then we've Cork then next after. So that's just about keeping our heads tuned in and make sure we get 2 wins out of 2 if we can.
Kieran, 4 points the difference in the end. I think it was 15 points to 11. I suppose, what's your reflections after the game?
Look, I felt for large periods of the game I thought we did well. We managed possession well. I thought we looked to do that before the game. We had some good scores in the first half. I think we maximised most of our chances. Look, there's no doubt Armagh are a quality side, and look, they have quality depth, and Kieran has them in excellent shape, and that's one thing that he's done over the years. He has grown an exceptional squad, and they have a range of scores throughout the team. That's scores, and that came alive in that critical period when Armagh got on top. You have so many fires to put out, but I said to the players, look, that our full focus now is we have to park that so quickly. We have 2 championship games missing in Louth and Cavan, and if we can take that attitude into it, we'll be in a good place.
I had Niall McElroy on the podcast during the week, Kieran, and we were sort of speaking about the fires that Fermanagh would have to put out on the Armagh side, and he was naming 5, 6, 7 Armagh players that needed man mark, but of course you can't do that. So that Armagh attack, Soupy Campbell got 3 points, Rory Gugan got 2, I think, Conor Turbo got 2. Like there's a lot of firepower up there.
They have extreme quality, and as you say, there's only so many players you can man mark, but I thought defensively we were pretty solid. I thought our shape was good, and we did tuck in at key times. We did sense danger at key times. I thought on the likes of Foshin, who had been pretty good up to date. I thought we snuffed that out a couple of times when he had cut in, and so that was across the board in several players. But again, as I said, look, they have that range, range of player. But I did think throughout those key periods of the first half that our ball retention was good. I know we knew when to go hard and when to take the pace out of the game. So we were pleased with that at half time, but we knew it would take a massive effort in the second half. And but again, as you say, it's our full focus is on Louth, and we have to park that very quickly.
I suppose keeping a clean sheet, Kieran, was another positive for Fermanagh today, because Armagh got 5 goals in the last 3 games. and they had a few chances and a few times trying to catch your keeper off his line, but to keep a clean sheet, you were probably happy with that?
We were. We did feel, look, that was going to be important win today with any chance of winning the game, because look, Armagh have goal scorers in them. They're fast and mobile, and players come at different angles. I thought we were pretty solid that way, and most of the chances did come from us giving the possession away, with something we'll probably have to tidy up going forward. But a clean sheet was a massive positive.
And I suppose with Armagh coming in a couple of weeks' time for the championship too, Kieran, this was a sort of dress rehearsal, a time to weigh each other up.
Well, that's true. Look, I think both teams know each other inside out now anyway, and it probably is a game that you probably rather wouldn't play when you're down the line playing each other in the championship, but it is what it is. We have to take this game in its entirety and a full focus on it, because 2 points would leave us safe, so we had to approach this as positive as we could, but again, looking forward to the championship in April.
And two huge games, as you sort of alluded to there. You have Louth and Cavan coming up next, Kieran, so two huge games to try to stay in Division 2.
That's it. Look, RD's never an easy place to go to. It's a tight ground. Louth have a good record in it, but it is something that we will have full focus on. I think this squad has equipped themselves really well. We're a very young squad. They're a brilliant group to work with. I think they just have to carry those qualities into RD and see where it takes us.
Kieran, another victory here over Fermanagh keeps you at the top of the league.
Yeah, no, listen, every time we come here, sometimes during the week, you hear everybody saying, like, you should be all right. But in my 20 years playing, and management too, you never get anything easy. Like, with a good coach, Kieran Donnelly, good manager, like, we knew it was going to be sticky, and that's what it was. It was sticky the whole way through it. We had chances, didn't take them, and Fermanagh were always in the game. So a good lesson for us all coming up the championship.
Yeah, you mentioned that last week coming up to Brewster Park, it's always difficult, so you knew what to expect coming up here?
Fermanagh, in all my time, I always work extremely hard. They don't have any airs of grace about themselves. They know what they have, and they push really hard. They match most teams for the majority of the game. And you make any mistakes, and they'll pounce on it. They've quality players throughout the park as well. And we were lucky today in a couple of instances, but at the same time, unlucky not to get scores on the board too. So, listen, we're happy with the victory. It's another 2 points on the board and keeps us there. But as we've known, this game with Cavan is going to be a big one. And the way they played last night, they're very physically aggressive around the middle. They hit hard. They go in for everything and work extremely hard. So, listen, we know what's in front of us, and it's going to be a tough one.
And a nice spread of scores too, Kieran. I think 5 of the starting forwards scored. Peter Green come up and got a point. Blaine, a couple of 45s. I think there was maybe 7 or 8 scores all throughout.
Yeah, no, listen, that's what you need. I'd say we should have had a couple more, but listen, we'll take it. 3 or 4 point victory, and you can't complain.
And you're coming back up here in a couple of weeks' time for this was sort of a dress rehearsal for the championship.
Yeah, listen, as I was saying, good days or bad days, no matter what way you're going, you're always going to get a game here. And if Fermanagh will come, they'll have no fear after today, and they'll be sort of bouncing for that game, and we have to be the same. But we have important stuff in between, so that's what we're focused on next.
And Cavan, Kieran, that's probably going to be built up as sort of a promotion battle, winner takes all. Whoever wins it is probably in the driver's seat to go up, so that's a big game.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. That's the biggest thing. It's trying to make sure that you're ready for that one. Cavan always give us a good game, but Fermanagh, they're very physically aggressive around the middle. They hit hard and they hit often. It's going to be one of those tough battles.
And just a week off now in between, so I suppose that's just maybe putting the feet up and resting before the Cavan game, is it?
Well, maybe we'll have players, but I don't know what a week off looks like. I'd love to know what that looks like. We have a lot. We've fellas busting to get some game time, and and fellas trying to push and into the 26 as well as the first 15. So it'll be a busy week for a lot of people. Most of all, probably the management team. But listen, it's a good place to be in.
Good stuff, Ken. Thank you.
All right, no worries.
Hurling's through, he might go for it, still going, trying to barge his way through, goes to the flat,
Arriving Rian O'Neill from an almost impossible angle, and that's the rousing score Armagh we're looking for.
Connor Turbin kicks this one in.